We are so pleased to have one of the Mets all-time greats with us today, courtesy of the City Alumni Association. It's Jerry Koosman. Jerry, how are you?
Well, good, and I'm happy to be here representing the City Alumni Association. Nice. No, everything's going good, and it's fun to be here. Beautiful night.
Well, you were in the conversation the other day when R.A. Dickey knocked you out of the record books. I suppose you heard about that.
I did, and wasn't probably an hour ago I met him and down by the clubhouse, and we chatted, and I asked him about his game, and we reminisced, and I'm very happy for him. And it's great. I mean, to throw 32 scoreless innings is right up there with a no-hitter, or even, you know, somewhere close. A no-hitter is really tough, but he damn near had the no-hitter. But I mean, he gets all the accolades, and that's great. I hope he does it again.
When you had your streak, do you remember anything during that streak, or was it just you and that fine staff had streaks all the time? So
I thought I did the streak in '68 or '69, but I read in the paper I did it in '73.
Yeah.
So my memory isn't that good. But remembering how the streak was broke, I thought I did it. I lost it in Montreal. So if that's my thoughts, I'm probably wrong on that also.
Well, of course, in so many ways, '73 is one of those years that not everybody remembers the way they do '69, because you guys didn't win the championship, but it was so much more unlikely in some ways because you guys had to come from so far behind.
Well, we did. We were really basically a 500 ball club that year. We did win the division and went on to get into the World Series. But it was like a so-so year, and nothing great happened. It was nobody wanted to win type thing, and we kind of backed into it in the last game of the season.
Last place on August 30th, and played that afternoon game in Chicago the day after the end of the season. There's nobody there, and you guys clinched the division. That had to be a really eerie thing.
It was a doubleheader, and we won the first game. Of course, we knew the Cardinals were close, etc. But we won the first game, and then we knew that nobody could catch us. And somebody by accident broke out some champagne in the clubhouse, and somehow the second game got canceled.
Very good.
Very good.
Forget the integrity of the schedule. There's champagne to be thrown around.
Yeah.
Omar Quintanilla leading off in the home third inning as we visit with Mets great Jerry Koosman. And you know, the seminal moment of your career had to be that last game against the Orioles in 1969, and we're showing your stats from that year. What was that moment like for you?
Well, it was a great time, and we all knew we didn't want to go back to Baltimore again. We'd like to end it right here, and so the pressure was on, and that was my main goal: is to not, you know, make yourself look like a fool, win, you know, do everything you can to make sure we don't go back. Well, I think it was early in the game, second, third inning, I gave a home run to Frank Robinson, and then I got to the bottom of the lineup later in the next inning, and Dave McNally hit a home run off me to left field, and that really aggravated me, because that's embarrassing to let a pitcher hit a home run off you, let alone a base hit. You know, Ron.
in the World Series, agreed.
Yeah, and in the World Series. This is probably the pitch right here.
So,
but and then there was a two-run homer after that, and I'm down 3-0. And I remember coming in the dugout, and I says, "Boys, that's all they get. Hold it. We're going to hold them right there." And I said, "Let's score some runs." And luckily we did. That we had Don Clendenin, Cleon Jones, Tommy Agee. Anyway, we put a little bit of a rally together and then scored 5 runs.
And when Davey Johnson hit that last ball that Cleon caught, were you confident it was staying in the ballpark?
You know, it was so noisy. Everybody's on their feet. It was screaming. You couldn't hear yourself think. And there was cops on the field all around already. And when that ball was hit, I couldn't hear the crack of the bat. So I didn't know how hard it was hit. So I turned around really worried and scared that the ball might be out of the ballpark. So I'm watching Cleon, and Cleon goes back to the warning track, turns around and catches that ball. And my last words then were, Clint, do not drop that ball. And it was over. And it was like the weight of the world was off your shoulders. We didn't have to go to Baltimore.
You know, when you think of the 50 years of the Mets, easily to me, you're the greatest left-hander to ever take the mound as a starting pitcher in those 50 years. And what did it feel like with Santana, the no-hitter, a couple of weeks ago?
I was happy for him. You know, when he did that, I was in bed watching TV. We don't get the Mets out there in Wisconsin, but I got a call right away in the top of the ninth saying Santana had a no-hitter going from a friend of mine who was at the game. Then he texted me 1 out, and he texted me 2 outs. And then there was nothing, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. He threw a no-hitter. And I was happy as heck because I was a Santana fan when he was with the Twins.
Twins, right, exactly.
Yeah.
When you were with the Mets, and you were here for a long time, deep into the 70s, and you guys never had a no-hitter with all the great pitchers you had with Seaver and yourself and Gentry and Ryan and Matlack and on. Did you guys ever talk about that it was odd that none of you had ever thrown a no-hitter?
We never, I don't recall ever talking about it. No-hitters are tough. And, you know, as far as a team is concerned, if you have a no-hitter going, nobody talks to you. They just do not want to be the, what do you call it, the black flag or
the jinx
of the deal. So no one talks to you. But I mean, you know, pitchers are smartest athletes out there on the field. So you know when you're going into the fifth inning, you got a no-hitter going. And so if they're not talking to you, you know that also.
That's right.
So you do your best you can to keep it going. And you just hope everybody does their job and lucks out.
Jerry, it's great seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Nice to be back at the ballpark.
Good to see you.
Jerry Koosman, courtesy of City Alumni Association. And here it is, that last out of the 1969 World Series. Davey Johnson hitting it not quite far enough. And Cleon Jones putting it away as the Miracle Mets completed their task.